Hey, if you're watching out there, tell me where you're watching from. Love to hear from you. Hey, thanks for watching, folks. Tell me where you're watching from. I like to hear from people. Yes, Arthur? Sharpening knives for a client. He's into barbecue, smoking meats and so forth, so he uses these knives every weekend. This is a Victorinox Granton slicer. This is what these barbecue guys use for cutting up brisket. Well, thanks for watching, Arthur. Thank you, sir. Well, I appreciate you watching. Tell me where you're from out there. India. Well, thanks for watching all the way from India. Sorry about all the background noise, folks. That's my fans and my dust collection system. It's still warm here in Texas. Well, thanks for watching. This knife is really chewed up. Y'all can't see it, I don't think, but that's a really ragged edge. You're asking which grit belt I start off with, is that correct? This was a very worn out 120 3M brand Cubatron 2 belt. You see that? 120 to start. And it's very worn. It's not a full belt. I like the worn belts to start off with. They're not so aggressive, but they give a good edge to start with. Very good belts. They last a long time, and they don't heat up the blade. If you noticed, when I use that belt, I go very slow, going from one side of the blade to the other so I don't heat it up. And these are the 3M Trizac belts. They don't heat up the blade either, and they don't build up material on the blade, on the belt either. 200, and then this is 400. This particular client likes his knives really toothy and kind of rough, so I don't go any further on that. I'll remove the burr on all of the knives here in a little bit when I clean them with a piece of. I'll take the burr off with a piece of leather and clean all the knives with alcohol after I'm finished with the full set. I've sharpened these knives many times over the years, and I know what the client likes. Not everybody likes a super shiny knife. Not everybody likes a polished edge. Some people like them toothy or grippy. This guy does a lot of barbecue and smoking meats, so he likes them kind of rough. Not sure what you're asking. Polished soap? Oh, yes, that's what you're talking about? It's kind of a gum material, almost like an eraser, and it pulls the impacted material off of these belts. So you clean the belt. You can't see it in the camera, but there's little tiny pieces of metal all impacted on this belt. So this cleans it up. And I'm not sure what this material is. It's some kind of gum rubber. And you can get it from a sharpening supply or a knife maker supply. In the United States, you can get it from Harbor Freight. It's called a belt cleaner. I don't know where you're at. We have a store called Harbor Freight here in the United States. Basically, they sell cheap Chinese tools, and they have this. Rogue, yes, I do beauty shears. Not on this machine. I've got a machine over here. You can check out my website and or my YouTube page. I've got lots of videos on doing beauty shears and the machine that I use for it. No, this stuff is so fine, it's ridiculous. But I have cut myself very bad. I cut myself, my thumb, a couple of weeks ago, really bad. No, never a twice as sharp for a beauty shear. I use Wolf Industries Hirito. The same company that makes the twice as sharp makes a flat hone, and that's what you use for beauty shears. Now, I've got a twice as sharp sitting right over there, and I use that for sewing scissors, and I actually did some surgical tools this morning. They're sitting over here on the side. Yes, in this particular case, I only used 3 belts. This particular customer likes his knives grippy, so I stop at 400 grit for his knives. That's not for everybody. Yes, you can use the Okami Gold for beauty shears. I don't believe it's the best tool, but everybody's got their opinions on it. I went to a seminar this past weekend that Wolf Industries had in Reno, Nevada, and I watched them do it on the Okami Gold, and I watched them do it on the Hirito. No, I don't polish them. There's no reason to polish these. I do have a belt for polishing, but this particular client, no, I do not polish his knives. Not every knife is the same, and not every client wants their knives the same. You have to have that conversation with the people you're sharpening for. What do you like more about the Hirito? It's faster, easier, and less likely to make a mistake on a $1,500 pair of shears. Once again, that's my opinion. Lots of sharpeners have lots of different opinions. Correct. Once I do, on these knives for this client, once I finish with the 400 grit belt, I'm done. Now once I finish these knives for this particular client, that's all the knives I have so far today. Now the next client that comes in, I'm going to talk to them if I haven't sharpened their knives in the past, and I'll ask them how they like their knives. Do they want a polished edge, or do they want a grippy edge? They want to lower the edge angle from the factory. You just got to have that conversation with your client. Tony, it depends on the knife and what you're using the knife for. If you want a good website to go to learn the different steels and the different steel used in different knives for different purposes, go to sharpeningsupplies.com, and they have some great educational material there. And Tony, once again, there's tons of opinions. I like the clamp. I have arthritis in my hands, and the clamp works so much better for me keeping a steady edge across the blade. I'm not sure what you call the clamp. It comes from the maker of this machine. The company is called AMK Tactical. They're in Tennessee. Look them up. It's amktactical.com. The owner of the company is Alan Poe. He makes all kinds of sharpening machines. Specifically, most of the machines he makes are for knife makers. This is the smallest machine he makes. And it's for knife makers, but it's for sharpening. It's not for grinding knives down. It's not for making knives. Check out his website, and he makes some really nice equipment. I like it because it uses a sewing machine motor that's variable speed and works great. And if you notice, I don't use my hands to turn the switch on and off. I've got a pedal like a sewing machine would down here below my feet. I'm not going to move the camera because I could never get it back to it. Check out my YouTube channel. I talk about putting a pedal on this particular machine, and it works great. So I don't have to touch the switch at all. I just go from one side to the other and I use my feet to turn the machine on and off. It's so fast. I've had this machine for probably 5 years or so, and it's so fast in sharpening knives, especially when you have a lot of them to do. I mean, here this morning, I don't know how many knives I've done so far, 10 or 12, and it makes it so much faster. If I have one of my meat markets bring me 50, 60 knives at a time, man, I need speed. I can't be messing around. I've still got surgical tools to do today. I did about 12 pairs of surgical scissors already this morning, and was getting tired of doing those, and I probably have 12 more to do, and those take a lot of time and effort. Correct, AMK Tactical. Oh, nice. That's a big machine. I've got a 4x36 Delta sitting over here to the right. I use it every once in a while for different things. It's probably 50 years old and still it weighs a ton and works great. I'll use it for an axe, or I'll use it for a machete or some kind of yard tool. Oh, I didn't check. Did I check the... I'm talking and not realizing what I'm setting the angle at. There's lots of good knife sharpening machines out there on the market. If I find a better machine than this, I'll buy it. But I know how to use this machine fast. I got the right belts on it. I don't heat up a blade. This blade is not hot. There's no heat on that blade whatsoever. And that's a factor of how slow this machine is actually going, how much pressure I've got on the downward of the knife. And that's another reason why I like this holder, because it keeps me from gouging that knife into that belt. I don't want to do that. I want it balanced. I just want light touch on top of it, and the holder lets me do that. Some guys like to freehand. That's just not my style. I will freehand a pocket knife if it's really small. Just depends on the blade. Yes, it does. You can see how it's, see that? And you can lay it down there and put your protractor on top and get the very exact edge angle that you want. And I got multiple of those. So we used to work at the farmer's market. My wife would put the knives in the holder to speed things up. That way I would just take this, and after I'm finished sharpening, hand it to her, let her take the knife out of the jig and clean it and package it up for the client. So I bought multiple tools. I guess you missed that, Devin. I do a 120. I start with a 120. These are all of my belts are 3M belts. They're not cheap. They're not cheap belts at all. I get them from Curry Custom Cutlery out of Hawaii. Cliff Curry sells these belts. Check out his YouTube channel and check out his website and Facebook page. Yeah, I'm pretty fast at it. But I'm only doing 3 belts here for this particular client. All right, I got 2 more knives to do for this batch, and then I'm gonna stop. I appreciate everybody watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It does help little businesses like ours grow. I actually get business from all over the country. from YouTube. Check out my Facebook page, Instagram. I'm on X. I even got a TikTok account. Last knife got a bent tip on it. All right, hang on a second. I gotta fix that. All right, I put it in the vise and bent it back. All right, last belt and last knife. Thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. It does help small businesses like ours grow. And growing our business is what counts. And you can help me out and the dog out. That's my security team right there. I got another one over here somewhere, you just can't see it. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you all have a wonderful day.